Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. Now, please find yourself a seat at their table.
All right, I'm Mike.
I'm PJ.
All right, guys, this is our 5th episode. Today, we're going to talk about sports, guys. Sports, wrestling, and sports trivia.
It's going to be a good time. You know, we've spoken about movies, we've spoken about music, we've spoken about video games, but one of the things we always spoke about at the lunch table was sports. Mm-hmm. So I just think a childhood memory I have of sports for me personally. There are a few, but one that sticks out, but for me, was going to hockey games at the Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hockey's my favorite sport.
More than football?
More than football, yeah.
What? This is new to me.
Is it really? Hockey is my favorite. I think...
I feel like we were kids, you were like, oh, football.
I was.
Okay, now you evolved to hockey.
I've always liked hockey and football the best out of all the other sports. For me, you cue up the booing. I think baseball is my least favorite sport because it's just tough to sit through a game so long and boring to me. And basketball, I just don't care about that much. I mean, I'll root for the Knicks or whatever because they're local. I like to root for the Heat. I like Miami Heat also, but I'm not a huge basketball fan one way or the other. But hockey is my number one, and one of my childhood memories or just memories ever through high school and even now is going to the Coliseum and sitting in the bleachers, the top of the Coliseum,
right?
Because that's the cheap seats, and if you used to show a high school or college ID, they give you the tickets for like dirt cheap.
Oh wow!
Because for a long time the Islanders were terrible, and they wanted to pack the arena, so they would give cheap seats to students. And I would just go and watch the games and have such a good time. That's, for me, I think, probably the reason why hockey became my favorite sport was going to the Coliseum.
Right.
Football, I used to play, not professionally. I was a kid. Not professionally. I played on the Red Devils League, and I wasn't very good, but I did play. But I didn't go to many Jets games as a kid. So I think going to the hockey games made me like this sport more because I was more in tune with what was going on because I could see the games really whenever I wanted. It was a 15-minute drive from my house, and the tickets were cheaper. Yeah. And I think that's why I grew into liking hockey more.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. You just reminded me. I remember, well, this is my childhood, but this was probably, I want to say 20, maybe more than that. Maybe not 2015. Anyway, I can't remember. But my brother and I and my friend Dave, we went to see the Knicks. This is when they just got Amari Stoudemire. This is when kind of like the rebirth of the Knicks.
Yeah, that was probably before 2015.
I love that
guy.
guy.
I remember that, yeah.
So my friend Dave, somehow he got his tickets. This is before the tickets got insanely crazy. We actually sat on the floor behind the net. Okay. So we were looking at the court, I guess I want to say vertically, right? Okay. If you're looking at it dimensional wise. Anyway, the Knicks were playing the Washington Wizards. And I gotta say this: if you see a game in person, right? And I think any live sporting event is awesome, regardless of if you think baseball is slow, whatever.
Yeah, it's always better in person.
Yeah,
100%.
1,000,000%. But dude, you know what? Especially being on the same floor as them, dude. These men are huge.
They're very big.
I mean, wow. I mean, they're like human trees. They're like those trees from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
dude. They were like just their wingspan. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that is just amazing, too. That's just to marvel, too.
Yeah, they are big dudes.
Because when you see them among themselves, they almost look the same height.
Right.
But when you see them with regular, everyday people, you're like, oh, my.
They are big dudes.
They're like, if I stand next to them, I'm right next to their pee-pee. That's how tall they are. So, anyway, that was really cool.
I've been to one Knicks game, but I did not sit that close. I was up a few levels.
Yeah. It was the last time I think I'll ever sit in the bottom now, but
I couldn't appreciate how big they were. I didn't realize if I was pee-pee height or not.
Right. Yeah, they were. I couldn't believe it. Because you always meet someone who's like very tall. But you see a whole group of individuals, you're like, oh my god.
Well, they're like 8 feet. They're gigantic.
Just like I said, their arms, their length, their wingspan, unbelievable. But I remember they were playing on defense. Like I said, they were. I can't remember the players. No, it was Raymond Felton was the team. Amari, and anyway. They were like trying to just do that. It wasn't really working out. And this fan next to us, he was like an older gentleman, and he was like, switch. He was like coaching from the and they listened and they switched and the play worked.
Wow.
So I remember that was like,
That's amazing.
Yo, dude. And he was just like, he was like older. I remember in his 50s or 60s. He was like, switch, and it worked because you see them kind of hearing, and
right.
and all of a sudden they were like, yeah, it's a good idea. So Amari, I can't remember if it was exactly if it was Amari who switched with someone else. I can't remember, but I just thought he was on the team. But I remember in that moment, that guy was like, yo, switch, and it worked. And
that's amazing.
That was really cool. So, well, PJ, my thing to you is, are we getting old?
We are.
And do sports? I can't explain. Are they still I'm not saying relevant, but dude, I have a very difficult time watching sports. I don't know if it's because I'm just getting older or it's the competition level. Do sports suck today? Just
They're not.
Like movies.
It's
movies
not as good.
Today?
It's not as good as it used to be, and I think there's a number of different reasons for it. One, it's less of a. I feel like when we were kids and we watched sports, the players were playing because they were athletes and that was their passion to play these sports.
Yeah.
And I feel like now they're celebrities. They're not athletes. Everything is an endorsement deal. Everything is about money. It's not about the game anymore. And that's actually one of the reasons why I like hockey the best is these guys aren't making $17.5 billion a year on their contract.
Right.
The hockey players are probably the lowest paid athletes out there. And I think that's why hockey is all about skill and it's all about the athletes and the love of the game. And it's not about how much money can I make on my next contract. Baseball and even basketball at this point, the game isn't about how can we win. Do we want to win a championship? The game is about what do I have to do this year so that they pay me double next year.
Yeah.
And it's no longer a team sport. It's all individuals put out for themselves to figure out how they're going to make the next money. And they don't care about the fans anymore.
No, I agree that hockey still has that that competitive, that kind of grit to
it.
That that need to compete.
Yeah.
I do get that vibe 100%. Absolutely. You just reminded me because you're saying everyone wants to be a celebrity. They'll want to become a brand. They'll want their sneaker or all sports. But besides, maybe I don't know much about soccer, but I know that's probably the biggest sport in the world. But
I can't watch it. I think it's boring.
Boring.
Right, yeah, I know. That's actually fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw it at a park in Eisenhower Park here in Long Island. It's I call it the Central Park of Long Island or Nassau County. But I saw I guess it's an intermediate level of soccer players. Dude, I couldn't believe how fast I kick a ball. It was like a missile. It was you're not gonna understand why they get concussions when they try to headbutt it. Dude, It's like a bullet. I was like, whoa. But it was very impressive to see. And like I said, any sport live is much better.
Anything live is always better. I agree with that.
But going back to the celebrity thing, I don't know which basketball player who it was. I don't want to say. And they didn't even do anything wrong, but they were doing NBA, basically the draft.
Right.
And I remember I don't like watching that stuff. I think that watching a draft is the most boring thing. But anyway, I would just put it on for 2 seconds. And whatever player it was, they were kind of reading his stats. So he did this in high school, and he won this in college. And they go, he has, 4 million followers on Instagram. And I'm like, but what is that?
What does it matter?
That's not going to translate to him being a better player.
Right.
What is that? But that's them, NBA, promoting that.
Right. Because they want the money.
Relevant.
Because if he has that many followers and he gets drafted to a team, that's going to make that team more money. That's going to make the NBA more money because they have a fan base that's going to buy his shit. That's what it comes down to. And that's why I was saying, I think that's what's lacking in sports is it's no longer about the competition. Mm-hmm. It's a business about how to make money, and it's not about the sport anymore. And who cares how many followers someone has on Instagram for a sports team? Mm-hmm. Not that they should be nameless faces. They shouldn't be. I'm not saying that.
You always got to have a product,
right?
Obviously.
But it's about the team. When you're a fan of a team, you could have a favorite player on the team, but you're a fan of the team. I really like the Islanders. I really like the Jets. I'm a fan. I want that organization to do well because I like to root for them. But then the people on the team, the players, aren't like that. They're all about themselves. Yeah. How much money am I going to get if I wear this sneaker? Mm-hmm. I don't know. You're 2 seconds away from slapping ads on jerseys at this point.
Yeah.
A fantastic day for capitalism.
Oh, yeah, that's coming soon, yeah. I mean, once they started doing that in baseball, they have the Nike check on there, which breaks my heart. It's you think about the Yankee, all this, I love the Detroit Tigers jersey. I love those classic teams. The Pirates, they have an awesome jersey. Red Sox. But you see that check mark above their logo. It's come on, you couldn't just put it on the sleeve. You really have to put it on the chest. I mean, it's just
It's so
pathetic
out
for the
there.
dollar,
Like you can
man.
just see it from a mile away. It's a commercial. It's like a Nike
just
commercial.
But it really kills the sport. I think the competition level is not the same.
There's also
It's really not
I
the
don't
same,
think
man.
there are superstars anymore. The way there used to be. Like you used to watch sports and you would know like everyone on the team and they'd be like these larger than life superstars, but they weren't now like there wasn't all about them, but you could look at a person like a Michael Jordan, like Michael Jordan, like
yeah.
world renowned Michael Jordan.
Right.
Or Wayne Gretzky or someone like that when you're like the guy is just a level above every other athlete, generational talent. And you don't have that anymore. Like, who's a generational talent? Who's a megastar in sports now, other than like Tom Brady?
I was gonna say Tom Brady or like a Derek Jeter, but those are from a different era
They're,
too.
that's
You
their
know,
carryovers from
you
that
know.
previous era. There's no one new.
I think obviously this. I guess this is not sports in itself is full. It's just social media has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed the movie star. It's changing the athletic star. All that different stuff. I just feel like the level of competition is very just different. I think. I don't want to say. I hate saying like players don't care. I don't believe that to a degree. But like for instance, I'll just use the NBA for example. Like I remember like the All-Star games. I was a kid. I used to like oh my god. I used to like the All-Star, the baseball All-Star.
The best of the best. Now I don't watch.
Dude, they're terrible. They're unbearable. And like, I remember like as a kid, I remember watching the NBA. Like, they used to play defense, you know. And it was like everyone used to play with like everyone knew the game didn't mean anything, but you
Right.
played with pride because like you were like considered
the
an
best.
all-star.
Now
Now these guys, they would do anything to
not be there.
They would
Have
not.
you,
I
like,
got
do
a
you
risk
watch
injury.
the Pro Bowl for the
Yeah.
NFL?
No.
There's like there might as well just be an offense and nobody on the other side. You can't hit anybody. Nobody wants to get hurt.
Yeah.
There's no real playing. It's just like a waste of a week. I don't know. I don't watch it. Even in like the NHL All-Star game, I'll watch the skills competition because I find that to be kind of fun when they do shootouts or they do the skills and all that stuff.
Like a target practice.
Like a target
practice.
practice, yeah. Those things are pretty good. The fastest skater, they gotta skate around the rink, and but then when you watch the actual All-Star game, no one's hitting anybody. This is the middle of the season. If you get checked against the wall and you get a concussion, you're gonna screw up the rest of your season by losing your top guys. No one's playing. It's a waste of time.
And I understand that now. We live in a different world where you can't get hurt. And that's fine. But I think then you have to evolve the All-Star event a little differently. I think my recommendation for I think all sports, but we'll just use baseball for example. I mean, the home run derby is atrocious. But what I think they should do for the All-Star game itself is do what the Yankees do. Do with I think Mets do it now. A couple of teams don't like to have old timers day.
Yeah.
You do that. You go. We're gonna have an All-Star game, but we're gonna have old players with the new players, and you just make it lax. Everyone's just hitting some fly balls. Wouldn't it be great if you have a lineup? You have David Ortiz, and then all of a sudden you have Ken Griffey batting next, right? You have Tom Glavine throw a ball to
It would be more fun.
I think it would just be. Honestly, I think it would be more exciting to watch, in my opinion.
Because
or
at least you're getting to see some of the older players people grew up with that brought them into watching the sport in the first place.
Yeah, because I think they don't want. No one wants to get injured. That's number one. I think they've reversed it now that the game used to mean something. Like
it doesn't mean anything now, right?
Thank God. I didn't like that at all. I'm like, yo. I know they want to get the game meeting for these players, but some players, their team's not going to make it to the World Series. Like a guy in the Pirates. God bless him. You know what I mean? But like, obviously he's playing for pride. You hope he is. But at the same time,
but they're not fun. They're not fun games.
Yeah. Atrocious, but is that because we're adults now and like as a kid you're like, oh man, look at this, playing baseball, like oh my god,
maybe. And I guess as a kid you're just seeing you couldn't watch all the games. You really can only watch the games that are in market. So maybe as like a kid,
you got to see those.
You get to see these all-stars from other teams that you don't get to see unless your team
we
plays
live in a
them.
different world now. Now you can follow
everything. You can
the
watch
Tampa Bay Rays or the Cincinnati on your
wherever
phone,
you are.
and you can see those players.
So it could be a different world is causing it to be less fun.
They just gotta evolve it, man. They gotta just evolve it. Well, PJ, let me ask you this. In terms of sports, do you think the Olympics still matter?
I don't think the Olympics ever mattered. I can't tell you.
That's the thing, man. That's like
like a
global thing. A country.
Oh, but who cares? Like, who cares?
You don't care about their country, PJ?
No, I typically when I watch the Olympics, I typically root for Italy I don't even root for America.
Right.
I root for Italy. We never win because America wins.
Wait, and do you like? Actually, make sure this winter or summer.
Get out of here with the Summer Olympics. There's nothing on the Summer Olympics I want to watch. It's so
Actually,
boring.
I like summer better.
What's on summer? I don't want to watch gymnastics.
Actually, I like gymnastics.
Beach volleyball, I guess. I watch.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, what am I watching?
That's actually a new thing about it now. Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
you know?
the Summer Olympics is the only good thing is beach volleyball and synchronized swimming. I like the Winter Olympics better because I like the hockey. I like to watch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I get hockey.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, and curling.
It's fun.
It's fun to watch. It's not necessarily the most exciting, but and then they do that thing where they ski and they shoot. I don't know the name of that game.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can name more Winter Olympics than I can Summer Olympics.
Touche.
Summer Olympics I think has like the wrestling, which is boring.
Yeah.
And it has boxing.
Maybe because I like track. I like watching people race.
Oh,
you know,
I can't even. Usain
like
Bolt.
Yeah, that guy's a real life Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't know. I just can't get into the summer as much. And look, I barely get into the winter. I watch the hockey because they used to have like actual players in it. I don't even know if they do that.
Is it because it just seems like I remember the last one got postponed because of COVID and like no one.
Did you miss it when it wasn't on?
Exactly. You know.
Were you like, damn? I really wish the Olympics were on right now, but stupid COVID. I didn't even care.
I know what I can't stand about the Olympics. Those opening ceremonies, dude. They're
carrying the torch.
Long.
4 hours.
I like that kind of stuff.
I like
I like that. Turns me on. I like the torch.
I know what would be better.
I don't like that whole thing where they have to parade everybody in. I want to be like, can't you just do it faster? I hate Bob Costas, whoever's talking over it, the commentary. Just have everyone in there.
You know what would make the opening ceremony more fun?
Just do it.
If the opening ceremony, when they're running with the torch, if that's also the start of the archery competition, and these people got to dodge arrows back and forth while they're trying to run with the thing, and if you each country gets a torch, whoever gets the torch to the front wins if they can dodge all the arrows. It's so boring.
No, you just run. No, you should do if you went to sport. I mean, the summer sports. You just gave me an idea. American Ninja. You know?
Yes. See, I'd watch that. That's way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know.
But what is it? Because we're older now? Or is it just social media? Like we have more entertainment
I don't
now?
know.
Like is that it? Like sometimes I feel like just kind of go back to I guess all sports is like I feel like I almost don't feel like watching it. Like I just feel like I almost rather watch my phone or put on YouTube. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe because like we were kids, it was only Channel 11, Fox 5. That was it.
Now there's 47 different sports networks, and I can watch anything I want whenever I want. So maybe it's less entertaining. I don't know if
less meaningful.
Definitely less meaningful. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I can name more than a handful of Olympic sports, winter or summer. When you put on, it's on Peacock now, right? And I think I put it on, and I'm like, all right, let's see what event is happening.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at them, and who cares about half of the? None of them are meaningful sports to me. Like. I don't know, the luge. Like, who cares? It's a dude with like a skate in his ass going down a hill. Like, who cares? What is happening? Why are we?
Those are boring to watch.
They're boring. It's just a dude, like a toboggan going down a hill. Like, what's happening?
That's like a time attack or a race against the clock. Like that kind of thing. Like you go one by one. That's very boring.
But what is the benefit of that sport? What is the competition level here? Like. Well, I get team sports. I guess I get certain team sports, like you have football and baseball and who's better, or hockey, and there's two competing teams, and it feels like maybe it's a country because it's the Team America versus Team Canada.
Yeah.
These individual things, like, I don't even know why half of these things are considered sports. Like, I can't get into it. I don't care about the Olympics.
I don't want to say it's not impressive because I know the amount of hard work.
Look, I could never do it.
Right, it's unbelievable, but it's very difficult for me to watch now. Between, like I said, the ceremony stuff, I don't care about, anything,
And I can't name any of the athletes. There's like a few that are become stars, where you could be like a Michael Phelps.
Shaun White, he's
the snowboarder
right?
guy. The thing I remember from the Olympics over the last, I don't know how many years has there been Olympics, is that one girl who made that weird face.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know her name. But, like, that was the most important thing that came out of that year's Olympics was that girl made, like, a dissatisfied face.
Yes, that's it. Yep.
It was the...
she was like a gymnastic,
Gymnastic,
right?
yeah. It was, and
Yeah, she was like police, like as if kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
she had like that weird, and that was the most important story coming out of the Olympics that year was that girl had a not impressed face on when she was getting her award. Even the athletes don't care about it. I don't know. It doesn't feel Olympics. Get out of here, monopolizing it's on TV, and they have it on Peacock because the Olympics can never be on a normal time, so you can't have it on regular TV because. What time zone are we in this year? The events are going to start at 3 a.m. Well, I'm not watching it. So you can't watch it live. So what happens is you find out who wins before you even watch the event, so then why bother watching the event?
Yeah.
That's another problem with the Olympics is the time zone.
That's a good point.
I mean, it happens with all sports if they're on the West Coast or the East Coast.
Yeah.
But if you want to watch a game that starts at 10 o'clock at night, and East Coast, but it's all right, it's a late night, but you're still going to bed probably around midnight. If the game starts at 1 a.m. for the Olympics, I'm not watching it, and then I'm going to wake up and the news is going to tell me who won the events, and then I'm not watching the Olympics. I think that kills it also, the time zone of it all.
Yeah, it's like look, I'm a proud American, but I don't have enough pride to watch these events, man. I hate to say.
And I don't even root for our country. I'm rooting for Italy.
I know it's not the Olympics, the World Baseball Classic.
I haven't watched it.
I don't watch that either.
I don't care.
What about the soccer? What do they call it? The World Cup.
The World Cup.
I think that was fairly recently, right? I think Germany won.
Was it? I don't know. I can't watch it because I find soccer boring.
Right.
The world will hate me and boo me for it.
Right.
I think soccer and baseball are the two most boring sports to watch. And
well, I think I agree with that. I think with the baseball with the new rules, it's gotten better. The time, it's amazing how. But that's the other thing. That proves our point. That sports suck nowadays. That they had to add a clock because these guys are taking too long singing.
40 minutes in between each pitch.
Yeah, the guy's fixing his
gloves, he's picking his ass, he's doing whatever.
The thing between pitches, dude. The games start at 7. They don't end till like 10:30.
It's ridiculous.
Now they're ending at like 9.
Well, that's how it should be.
But it wasn't always like that. Like, is that because there's not. I think the commercials are probably more or less the same. I know with baseball they only take a commercial break unless there's like a pitching change. Right. Someone gets injured, shit like that. The inning goes, the game goes.
It's become so long to watch a game over the last few years. It's gotten terrible.
But it's all sports are like
it really
that
is.
long. Like they're always trying to speed up the game or make it faster, or make it more offense.
Right.
I think when you add more offense to a game, they want it to be more entertaining. But I actually think it makes it more. Actually, make more offense. Sometimes I feel it makes it actually less exciting because defense is what causes tension. That's what keeps it close.
But the games are quicker because everyone's scoring.
Yeah. But even that, it's like almost. I don't know. I'm not like a purist, like a baseball player. it's compromising the game. I think they needed. I don't mind the pitch clock.
I don't either. Fun. I think it's good. I think it speeds up things.
I don't like that rule that if there's a guy on first, the pitcher can only throw if he's going to try to steal.
Right.
You can only try to pick him off basically 2 times. If you do it the 3rd time, you don't get him out, it's considered a balk, which automatically puts a man over.
Right.
But I don't know, that's a bit
extreme.
You should have it the reverse, personally, I think the
guy stealing the base only gets 2 shots.
Yes, exactly. You don't do it, then you're stuck at first. That's it. No more running back and forth. You got 3 chances to
give him an out or something. You try 3 times and you fail 3 times, that's an out.
Right.
Or a strike or something.
Right. If the pitcher has to throw over 3 times to kind of pick you off, then that's it.
Yeah, it makes more sense to do it that way.
Like legitimate. I know that could be kind of weird to kind of officiate, but I think because at that point, if I was a pitcher, I'm like, this sucks. You only have 3 tries. That's I don't know. I think I'm not sure if they do it extra innings, so they still keep it like if it goes into the 11th inning, they put a man aside. I don't like that rule.
Right.
All that stuff. But all these rules, I'm saying that they know something's wrong with sports, and I think.
Well, speaking of new rule changes too, like in football, they put all these rules in to protect the quarterback and protect the receiver and the running back so they don't get hurt, which is good because you don't want anyone getting concussions every play. But it's football. This is supposed to be hitting, and now it's like flag football. Mm-hmm. It's not even no one's getting hit. You can't tackle anybody. If you shouldn't aim for someone's head.
Right.
But there's going to be some level of helmet-to-helmet contact in these things, and you're taking away the fun of watching a sport because now everyone's afraid to hit somebody because they're going to get a penalty.
Yeah.
And I get it. That other dude, what's his face? I can't think of his name right now from the Bills that almost died last year.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of his name. But
Hamlin?
Hamlin. Yes, Hamlin.
I know his first
name.
Yeah,
I think it's like DeMar.
Yeah.
That was a shame what happened to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that's the reason why these rules keep going into
But it's like
effect.
an occupational hazard. You know what I
You
mean? It's
signed
like,
on. It's not ballet.
and
You
that's
signed on to be in a
of
sport.
course, safety first. With but like I said, when it starts to compromise the game, then it's
That's what it is.
But all these sports, like I said, all these things are just like I don't want to say tarnishing, but it's
It's making it less fun.
It's making the entertainment value down, and for me, and I think also the competition is very different.
And I also feel like, and I'll go back to this is another reason why hockey is one of my favorite sports. If you're watching a baseball game or like a basketball game, and someone so much as stubs their toe, they need 45 minutes to make sure that their toe's not broken. They need to recover. They need to sit out for half the game. You watch a hockey game, someone's taking a 90 per mile shot to the face with a puck.
These guys lose tooth.
And they're like, all right, let's keep going.
They lose their tooth.
Yeah,
and they
don't
back
stop.
out.
You take it a skate to the neck. That guy's like, I don't need that. I don't need my neck.
Yeah,
They don't
Hockey
stop.
players got the ultimate balls.
They got balls. It makes it more fun. These other sports, they're just so like toned down, and everyone's like a wuss. They don't want to get hit. Why are you in a contact sport if you don't want to get hit? And I don't think it's the players. It may not be the players in some respects. It may be the league trying to cover their own ass so they don't get the lawsuits, and they keep making the money. But it's just tough to watch. All the rules changes, and it's not. I don't know. It's not as fun. The fair catches and all that now. You know, I get why it's in the game. That's fine to have a fair catch so that no one get clobbered. But also part of the fun is watching someone return a kick.
Yeah.
So you've added the fair catch so that no one gets hurt. But now every punt, no one's running it back. And seeing someone punt the ball, someone gets it, and they're able to run it back for a touchdown is exciting to watch on TV. You know what's not exciting? Someone waving their arm, catching the ball, commercial.
All right, yeah.
It's not, who can't, then just, what's the average length of a punt? Just put the ball there, and why are we doing the play? What's the point? There's no play. It's just the guy kicking the ball.
And they do these things that I don't really enjoy either. Is especially with baseball, where they do like exit velocity.
Right.
Who cares how fast you hit a ball outside the park? It doesn't matter. You can hit a ball 5 miles an hour and it goes maybe like a bunt.
Right.
It doesn't matter. They're trying to do anything to make it more exciting, and it's
not working.
As soon as they start saying exit velo, I get so I almost want to listen to the game on mute because it's just.
There's too many stats that people are tracking. And another thing is like all these stats, I'm convinced, are created for fantasy leagues.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
dude, you can bet on a pitch now.
On anything.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about how to earn fantasy points and how to bet on things. It's not about the game. It's all money. It's all about money making now. It's not about the game anymore, and I think that takes the fun out of it.
Which I understand. It's always going to be a product. That's what they're in the business of making money, which I get.
But you used to make money because the team was good. It had nothing to do with the extra stuff. The Islanders just clinched a playoff spot. I'm going to pay whatever the price of the ticket is to go see the Islanders in the playoffs because maybe I'll get lucky and get to watch them win something bigger than a playoff spot. Maybe I'll watch to see them clinch the next round. Maybe we'll get lucky, get into a Stanley Cup, and I could give them all the money in the world. The Islanders make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? I'm going to give them all the money I have to make sure I'm in the arena in case that's when they hoist up the trophy and they win. That's where the money comes from. All this other stuff that you're using to make money, was the league not profitable 20 years ago? They had to have been profitable.
Yeah.
What do we need all this extra stuff for to figure out ways to make money? Just put out a good product, put together a good team, be competitive, make it to the postseason. I will gladly give you my money to see my favorite team in the Stanley Cup Finals. If the Jets make it to the Super Bowl or they're in the playoffs, I will gladly give you some money to go watch a playoff game for the Jets at MetLife. I don't know. Why is that not the way to make money?
I don't know.
Isn't that the point?
I know.
Ugh.
I think what is awesome, though, currently, and I'm very happy, is that all of our major sports teams are in the playoffs, PJ. New York sports teams are in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. New York is doing good.
Because, look, we've been awful as a city, as a state, in terms of our, look, we haven't won a championship, I think, since 2012, right? With the Giants. Yeah.
No, I think we won one. Didn't we win one after that? I thought we might have. Maybe we didn't. You might be right.
Yeah, that's the last one, because the Yankees haven't won since 2009. I actually know if you want to be fair, the Mets were the last one to at least be in a championship. They were in
yeah.
2015. Right, 2015 or 2015.
Around there.
Yeah, because the Royal won 2016. The Cubs won.
New York, the state of New York,
terrible.
Yeah,
You know,
but
look,
overall,
I'm not a Met fan or a Ranger fan, but I'm at least happy. Like, we got to represent because
I believe New York has won the most world championships though of any state in when you combine all the championships for every league.
Oh, okay.
New York State has won the most championships out of any other state professionally.
Oh, okay.
We've been lucky.
Thank
But that's
God.
because we have New York money and we can afford to buy teams. That's really what it is.
Right, but I think Boston and the Californians
They're catching up.
because Boston has been kicking our ass.
Yeah.
I mean, between the Patriots, the Bruins won, the Celtics won. I mean, this is now this is 20 within the past 20 years. But I mean, my God, we're getting owned. You know.
Yeah, even if you want to say sports have been watered down, professional wrestling.
We promised you a great main event here tonight.
Very classy, a maker of champions.
Andre, the giant. WrestleMania.
Everyone has a price.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is electric.
The champ is here.
Oof! Don't even get me.
Look, we can take this way back. We used to watch all these pay-per-views.
Oh yeah,
We watched
that was
them
like
all.
a big deal.
It was. We watched them all. We watched Monday Night Raw. We watched Monday Nitro. We were flipping back and forth between the two channels. But even before that, like, we grew up in an era with like Hulk Hogan,
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Macho Man,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bret the Hitman Hart, right?
Yeah.
All these big name wrestlers. And then as they started phasing out and getting older, but then all of a sudden you got a new wave of awesome wrestlers like
Yeah.
Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve
Which
Austin.
Give me a hell yeah.
I think it's really the pinnacle.
The
of
pinnacle,
wrestling.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But
But
you
even
had-
WCW, that whole era
That whole
was amazing.
NWO, you had big name guys, you Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, or even on the WCW side of things, people like Sting, Goldberg, right?
Wow.
The
Yeah.
NWO, all these larger than life personalities. And if you watch it now, whew, it's tough. It's tough to sit through it. And I'm still a fan. I still watch the pay-per-views and all,
Right.
but the level of entertainment, even on that,
Yeah.
and that's produced entertainment. That's not even like
I was gonna say, look, we know it's fake, people.
Right.
We know that's fake, but it is very difficult. Look, there was a part of it that was fun. It was fun. I don't find it fun to watch. I lost track after like 2003.
Okay.
On that point, because like Stone Cold was basically retired at that
Right.
point. He was my favorite, and I
Oh,
thought
he's
I
the
was
best.
just getting. Yeah, I got my first job working at Kmart, so I didn't have much time.
Right.
But whenever I try to revisit it, I just felt like.
it's not the same.
Yeah, and I know they had like what's it called, aggression era.
They had the ruthless aggression.
Right,
yeah.
that's what Lesnar and Batista, all those
Yeah.
cats. Well, that was
was
seemed
still
like it
good. That was
seemed
still
I
good.
can't really judge. I didn't watch it, but that seemed like that was probably the last.
That was the last time.
of
Yeah,
that.
that's like John Cena.
I don't
right?
like him at all.
Oh, I love John Cena.
What?
I love John Cena.
I don't like him as an actor, and
John-
whenever I saw clips of him on, I don't know. I think that guy's
I'm going
cringe.
to put this out in the universe.
I think he's a great he's got a great physique. I think he's one. They consider him one of the strongest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean that.
I'm
his
going to put this
athleticism,
out in the universe.
I
John
respect it.
Cena is the best wrestler who's turned into an actor.
Okay, I can take.
I think he's the-
all right. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, by far. I don't know if you
Take
watched.
that. Actually, no, I
Peacemaker.
disagree. Batista.
I'm going to put John Cena.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to pick John Cena. Not his original WWE produced like Marine movies.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying post that, like now as a
Oh,
career
yeah,
as
yeah,
an actor.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
his
that
career as an
doesn't-
actor, I think John Cena is better than The Rock and better than Batista.
Wow.
I think the Peacemaker TV show on HBO Max.
I haven't seen it.
I think that is.
I
the-
hated his characters. I hate him.
That's
I hate
the
how he
best
acts. I feel like
produced
he's like kind
TV
of like
show.
a Ryan Reynolds. Plays the same guy.
I-
I don't understand he's an
yeah.
actor. I don't expect him to be a De Niro or
I think
Daniel
John
Day-Lewis,
Cena's great.
but-
I'm a big fan, but even him though, like when you watch wrestling, whether you like him or not,
But I'll give him that. He had charisma. I'll
he had
give him that.
charisma. He had.
I'll give him that.
He
I'll
could
give him
carry
that.
the
I like him
crowd.
as
He
a-
could talk on the
I'll give
mic.
him that. I'll give him that.
After that, though, like it's a steep decline, and people you could care about.
But it's kind of going back to sports. Like, what are we doing, folks? Don't you guys, like you said, doesn't anyone here want to make money? And they could probably say, well, we're making the same amount. I mean, I don't know. I don't like looking at their
They're
books.
making more. They're
I don't
making
know,
more
but
now than they
something
were
about
then.
it,
But
though,
it's,
is
I
just-
don't know.
Seems so.
But maybe you're right.
I know it's fake. I understand that. Bret Hart, I don't know if it's a recent interview, but he gave this great blast about saying, like, you used to pretend to make it look real, to make it look real. Now you're almost like, we know, like I said, we know the mysteries, the kayfabe, that's gone now. But the matches used to look real. I'm not saying, I understand you can't take a chair and maybe hit people, maybe they're trying to say, I don't expect that, but the fights, the wrestling itself look authentic. I hate when you start seeing, there's a clip, I don't know who the wrestlers are, it's WWE though. They're like going back and forth, they're doing cartwheels, they're doing, and then and they do at the end, they do like this like
a pose,
like a from Dragon Ball Z, the Ginyu Force, kind of, like what?
Like there was no fighting.
A cartoon. It's like Cirque du Soleil. Like what is this?
So because there's no storytelling anymore in the ring. Now it's just everyone wants to get their shit in. So I could do this, and I want to make sure I do it. When it used to just be a story being told in the ring, and that seems to be long gone. The story told in the ring. But maybe you're right. Maybe it's because we've aged out of some of this stuff. Because kids are eating this shit up.
Right. I mean, exactly. I mean, I guess 100%. I know. I mean, it's not for me, which I always say. Know your target audience. Blah 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 blah. But I don't know. Like I just felt with the attitude era. Like, look, I understand you can't be given the finger or go like two.
But why can't you? But why can't we?
I know. But even if you look, Macho Man or those early cats didn't have to do that. It's still owned. You know what I mean?
I know, but the time.
I'm just saying, like.
So do you think we're reverting back to that? And so now we're in this stage where everyone's kind of gearing towards kids, and maybe in another 5 years.
It's very like Disney. I feel like I'm not gonna be all of a sudden they're gonna be doing like a musicals. They're gonna be wrestling each other like I take thee with the clothesline, bam. Like it just seems like it's getting that much like opera like. You know what I mean? Like I understand it's a play in itself.
Yeah,
but
I get it. It's not as fun as it used to be.
But know what's Kevin? It's fun to watch, honestly, is esports. You know what esports, BJ, is?
Is that like people playing sports online and us watching them? Mm-hmm. Like people are playing Madden online and we watch
it's basically
like on Twitch and stuff like that?
Yeah. Basically, it's just video games online. So you can watch like a Fortnite competition. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I love watching that like on YouTube. Like there's clips of it. Dude, I love it, man. I have a great time. I actually find it more interesting and honestly, like level of competition is more. I don't know. That's just more. Like I said, I'm trying to think objectively here. Is it me because it's appealing to my age range,
maybe
or whatever? But I think it's exciting.
Maybe there's a part of it too that makes that fun because if we wanted to, we could do that, right? I probably, and when I say probably, I mean I definitely can never be a professional athlete.
Right.
I'm just not built for it. But I can play video games pretty good, so maybe that's why that's more entertaining, because you can feel like if you really wanted to, you could give it a go.
Right. But it's like, I'd rather watch two guys fight each other in Street Fighter,
right.
than I would watch UFC. Even though they're choking each other out, they're hitting each other over the head with their knees,
I used to love UFC. I'll tell you where my fallout with UFC came from. I used to think it was great. Because it was just two people beating the hell out of each other. And eventually, one of them gets worn down to the point where you could grab their body part and try and break it.
Right.
Right? And it was kind of fun to watch. But now it's become much more technical in nature.
Yeah.
And you have people that are so good at defending these moves that there's nothing to watch. It's people circling the ring, going for a takedown. Someone tries to go for a takedown. They shoot on the guy. Someone stuffs it. Stand up, they separate. Then you have someone laying on somebody for 15 minutes, just gaining points. And maybe what they're doing is technical and they're gaining points and they're winning, but it's not fun to watch it. If I want to watch a UFC fight, I want to see people get knocked out. And that's not there anymore. And that's why I stopped watching it. It's also why I've always liked wrestling better than the UFC, because it is scripted. So the ending of that match is going to have a finishing move that's exciting.
All right.
Where at the UFC, it's like, all right, this guy just laid on top of another guy for 5 rounds and won.
Right.
Ooh.
I understand. Look, you don't hate the player, hate the game. So they're same with boxing. They hug each other.
It's the worst.
No one's looking for. I find that most UFC too. They rather score points or go for a tap out.
Then
knocking someone else too difficult.
Yeah,
it's too difficult. They'd rather just go boop. Here's a point. Here's a point here. Bing bang.
That's what it is, and it's not fun to watch that. I used to love watching boxing. I can remember a time where HBO had like Saturday Night Fights, and I would know the boxers, like you had your De La Hoyas and all that and stuff. But I can remember watching some of these big fights, like Tyson. And there were times we would go to my uncle's house in his basement and we'd watch like a Tyson fight on like pay-per-view, or on the Saturday night HBO Friday Night Fights or Saturday Night Fights. they would start at like 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, usually the fight. But I'd watch them with my brother. I can remember sitting in my brother's bedroom. We'd watch boxing at night when they would play that on HBO. Now I couldn't name a boxer anymore.
Oh no!
I can name some old school boxers. Like I said, I know who they are. I don't even know who the champion is anymore in boxing. There's too many.
Is that another? Unfortunately, it's not
I
one
think
single
the
league.
last
There's
big
different
name
leagues.
boxer I remember is Klitschko.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the last big boxing fight that I really enjoyed. They basically did 3 matches: Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
I wanted Wilder to win, because I hated Tyson Fury because I thought it was
But
a
even
big,
that, it doesn't have the same feel as some of those big old
no
fights,
way.
the big time money
No way.
matches that they used to have. I don't know why it's changed. I don't know if that's just because people don't watch boxing anymore. And if you're someone who's going to become a fighter now, are you even trying to be a boxer, or are you trying to go to UFC and not specializing in boxing?
Right.
And maybe that's why the level of skill isn't there for boxers anymore.
Right.
But
I prefer watching boxing though.
Me too.
Over UFC.
I think it's the best combative sport.
Look, they can kick my ass in a minute. Like, wow, okay, terrific. But I can't get into. I don't find it enjoyable.
I do like
unless
boxing
you have
better
like these
also.
2 personalities. You want
Right.
to see them fight, but other than that, I find it very difficult to.
Also, I think
watch.
part of the reason why we might like boxing better is we grew up in an era where Rocky was so popular
Oh yeah.
that a movie like Rocky can
Oh yeah.
makes boxing feel more approachable.
Oh yeah. Oh 100%. Mm-hmm. But PJ, I have something very special for you.
Okay.
I have a sports, mainly football trivia.
Okay. Football trivia. Here we go.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I have about over 15 questions. This is mainly Super Bowl football trivia. Some of it is about movies, about sports.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
I shall do my best.
Some, we're mainly going to focus on New York sports.
Okay.
But, anyway, PJ, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, in Super Bowl 42, so I'll give you a hint, that was Giants versus Patriots.
Okay.
Okay, their first match. Can you name the score?
No.
It was a tight one.
Is it? I don't think
This
I
is
can.
when what's his face, put the
Put the ball in his head.
Tyree. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know. I can remember I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was that high scoring of a game.
No,
either.
it was not.
Is it like?
They're both in their double digits. They're in the teens.
Yeah. I think it was separated by like maybe a couple of points.
Yeah.
Is it like 17-14?
Oh my God! Yeah.
All right.
PJ.
All right.
Holy cow. Damn, PJ wants to get his Super Bowl ring.
All right.
Okay. Side note, dude, that was like probably my favorite Super Bowl ever.
Okay.
Everything about that.
All right.
The Patriots were or 17-0 basically.
Right.
Tom Petty did the halftime show. Everything about that whole Super Bowl was amazing. Everything that was special in my head. Okay, Super Bowl 35. The Giants were in that Super Bowl. They lost. They got owned 34-7. Who did they lose to in that Super Bowl?
And what year was this?
I'm gonna probably say early 2000s, maybe 2002, somewhere around there. But they lost.
They lost.
Who did they lose to? They got owned in the early 2000s.
It's not Atlanta.
Nope.
I don't know.
Close. It is a bird. Team named after a bird.
Seattle?
Ravens.
Ravens.
Right.
Ravens.
Baltimore
Okay.
Ravens.
Okay.
PJ, in 2011, this team proclaimed they would win the Super Bowl, but they went 8-8 and did not even make the playoffs.
The Jets?
Yes. Yes.
I figured.
Okay. Who was the first quarterback to win the Super Bowl wearing the number 10?
Eli?
Yep.
This will be from 35 yards. The snap is down. The kick is up. And it's good.
Who was the first quarterback to win the Super Bowl wearing number 12?
Broadway Joe?
Yes!
All right, Joe
Damn,
Namath,
he is on
okay.
a roll. Okay, in the movie The Little Giants,
Okay.
starring Rick Moranis and
Okay.
Ed O'Neill, what team did the Little Giants play in their Super Bowl?
Oh, man.
Come on, Icebox, come on.
I can see it. It's not the Steelers.
No.
I don't know who it was.
They call them, I think that's their nickname, the America's football team.
Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay.
The Cowboys.
That makes sense.
Okay, so PJ, in Super Bowl 38, the Patriots beat the Panthers 32-29, but it's most remembered for this controversial halftime show. Who performed at that halftime show? This controversial halftime
Was
show.
that Timberlake and Janet with the boob?
Yes!
Boobies.
Yeah.
PJ's on
Saw
a
some
roll.
nip. Saw some nip. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my
It
God.
was Janet Jackson, right? Yeah.
So, PJ, who performed the halftime show in Super Bowl 36? The Patriots won that year. And to give you somewhat of a hint, this is the first Super Bowl post 9/11. Who performed?
That wasn't Paul McCartney.
No. Pretty good guess, though.
I'm trying to
I'll
think.
give you a hint. I'm pretty sure you hate this band. I love this band, but you hate this band.
I hate this band.
I think you do. I'm pretty sure you do.
I hate
I think
a lot
people
of
hate
bands.
them now. I'm not really sure why, but
I don't know.
their name has just two letters, or one's not a letter. And,
Oh, is it you too?
yes.
I fucking hate that
Hey,
band.
hey. I will say this: that was a great performance. They played. I think they just only did 2 songs.
I
They
hate
did
them.
Streets Have No. They did "Beautiful Day." They did "Streets Have No Name." And that's when they had the names. Coming
Yeah,
down. That was really
all right,
beautiful.
yeah.
All right.
I don't like
Okay,
it
they
too.
get one. They get one.
They get one.
Moving right along. Okay, another movie trivia. In the movie Ace Ventura, the first one.
Okay.
When the Dolphins play in the Super Bowl at the end, what team do they play against? At the end.
At the end.
Not the one with Ray Finkel, the...
No, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn's Finkel. Who do they play at the... Is it the Eagles?
Yes!
Okay.
That's when Jim Carrey beats
Yeah,
up the...
he
I
beats
love
up the
that
bear,
scene.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay, PJ, name the baseball team that was inspired by the Chicago Bears name.
The baseball team inspired by the Chicago Bears?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know this.
Yeah, I gave you a little bit hint actually inside that question. Mm-hmm.
Cubs?
Yes!
Okay, yeah. I just felt like it was too obvious.
Yeah, that's how the
Is
owner
that really?
of
I didn't
the,
know that.
The
Okay.
owner of the Cubs said, "Oh, they seem small
Okay.
compared to the players of the."
Oh, all right.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. PJ,
Okay.
in 1987, Disney had a commercial that says, "I'm going to Disneyland." Which football player said that famous line?
In 1997?
Oh, 87. I'm sorry.
In 1987, he said, "I'm going to Disneyland."
Mm-hmm.
I could see it in my mind. It's not. I don't know. It's not OJ.
No, Phil Simms.
Phil Simms, right?
Okay.
Phil Simms. Okay.
Name the movie where Adam Sandler plays a football player.
Waterboy.
Yes.
All right.
That was easy. Okay. Name the movie where Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx are football players and they're a coach.
Any Given Sunday.
Yes. PJ, finish the phrase, Bud.
Wise. Herb.
And what animal said that line?
Frog.
Yes. Okay.
Wise. Her.
Name the movie where Sam from The Lord of the Rings is a football player.
Rudy.
Yes.
Okay.
And what team did Rudy play for?
Notre Dame.
Yes. Damn. PJ. Name the famous kicker who missed a field goal because laces were out.
Was Ray Finkel.
Yes.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Okay, so here we go. These are a little bit more technical now, PJ.
Okay.
Okay, ready? This is
All
the
right.
second half of the game.
I'm
okay?
ready. Okay.
What yard line must a football team drive to reach the red zone?
Is it the 10? Is
No.
it 5?
No. I could be wrong. Maybe they updated this. I have here the 20. Is that correct? Maybe it's
It could be the 20. I really thought it was the 10 for the red line. Maybe
you're
it's
right.
20.
Maybe you're
You could be
I
right.
don't know. I could be wrong. You're more of the football guy. People, comment below and let us know. And let us know how well if you're keeping up with PJ. What were NFL players required to wear in games for the first time in 1943?
Helmet?
Yes. What pro football franchise did Tim Mara buy in 1925 for $500?
Giants?
Yes. Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
What New York morning talk show has this famous quarterback?
Boomer?
Yes. Actually, I hate Boomer.
I do too.
I hate his show. I never liked him.
I don't like Boomer. I have a personal reason to not like Boomer Esiason. Real quick, before we get to the next question, the Jets used to practice at Hofstra. And after the practice, you could get them to do autographs if they would meet some of the players. Right. And I had a Jets troll. Remember the troll dolls?
Yeah!
I had a New York Jets troll, had green hair. Right. And I was trying to get all the players to sign it. And Boomer wouldn't sign it. And he said, "Don't play with dolls, kid," and walked away. Wow. So Boomer Esiason is a jerk-off. And I hate him.
Damn! Well, PJ, we have one final question.
Okay.
So in this show, Home Improvement, Tim Allen's character roots for this team. What is his favorite team?
Detroit?
Yes!
Yeah.
What's
Lions.
Yes!
Yeah.
PJ, I am very impressed. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
In this trivia contest. So all our listeners out there, let us know in the comments below if you did well with this trivia, and if we had anything inaccurate or incorrect, let us know. But PJ, I think that's
time.
I think that's time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think lunch period's over.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, till next time, same table.
See you at the ball game.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. Please visit PJ and Mike's website, coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com for more information. Follow the boys on all social media apps. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.